Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today making my predictions for the 2021 edition of Money in the Bank. The first WWE pay-per-view with a full allotment of fans in over 15 months, and it will be our second show with a full side of fans after SmackDown on Friday. So we'll finally see who the crowd really likes, who they really don't like, and if there's any lunatics in the crowd on Sunday night. So now we'll get right into my predictions for the 2021 edition of Money in the Bank. So the first match of the evening will be for the Raw Women's Championship, where we'll see Rhea Ripley putting the title on the line against Charlotte Flair. In this match, since there's no currently added stipulation to it, I can see more shenanigans arising between the two, to where we get a huge stipulation match at SummerSlam next month. But in this match, heads up here, I think Rhea Ripley will retain the Raw Women's Championship. I just feel like with Ripley still feeling semi-new on the Raw roster here, that her losing to Charlotte and losing the title will be a step back, and would just be a flip-flop rivalry that they'll have going here, and this will just keep going and going and going, a la Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, until we hit that point to where we get the "you can't challenge me anymore" match. I still think after this match they'll go one more time at SummerSlam, and then I think it'll be the end of the rivalry to where we could see maybe Charlotte going over to the other show, or maybe they flip the women's championships like they did the tag titles last draft, or maybe we'll see what new competitors could arise to Rhea Ripley's championship. So now on to match number 2, and this will be for the WWE Championship, where we'll see Bobby Lashley putting his title on the line against Kofi Kingston. In this match, as much as I'd love to see Kofi win the title again, I think he really doesn't have a chance here, and Bobby Lashley will retain the WWE Championship. After Raw on Monday, where Lashley's just flipping stuff and throwing tables and telling MVP we're getting back to business, being the Hurt Business basically, I think this will just be Lashley running shop here and demolishing Kofi and keeping that title. And then after Money in the Bank, we'll see if a beast is waiting for him at SummerSlam, or a briefcase will get him next. So now on to our next match. And match number 3 will be for the Raw Tag Team Championships, where we'll see AJ Styles and Omos putting the titles on the line against the Viking Raiders. I feel like in this match that AJ Styles and Omos will retain the Raw Tag Team titles. I just don't see him losing them yet, and this could be a chance where AJ kind of gets demolished a little bit, and then Omos gets to show a little bit of what he can do all by himself, with more guys in there with the Viking Raiders, and then they retain the Raw Tag Team titles and move on to their next challenger. There's just a small part of me in the back of my mind that says WWE would like to just do a title switch in front of a live crowd to get them going, and the tag team titles seem like prime culprits here, that they could be the ones where WWE's like, hey, we can get them back to where we wanted to, this will just be for the crowd, and have them switch here. But I think the positives of AJ and Omos keeping their titles outweigh them losing them here. So now on to match number 4. And match number 4 will be for the WWE Universal Championship, where we'll see Edge taking on Roman Reigns. Now, I hear people going both ways on this match. A lot of people think Edge could take the title here and then set up a different feud for SummerSlam, then Roman goes into his thing. And I'm like the other people, I think Roman Reigns will retain the Universal Championship in this match. I just think Roman Reigns, if he is on this alleged collision course with John Cena at SummerSlam, they're going to up the ante from their match from No Mercy in 2017, where it was just a Cena vs. Reigns match. And this time, we'll throw a title into the mix to put that Cena's going to break the World Championship record for Ric Flair. Reigns will go on and battle Cena at SummerSlam, and then if this Edge Rollins thing happens, I don't think they'll be throwing a championship into it, and I think it'll just be them going off of their stuff that happened in the past, like in 2014 and everything. So now we'll all get ready to see the head of the table take on the man we can't see in August. So now on to our first Money in the Bank ladder match of the evening. And this will be the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, where we'll see Asuka taking on Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, Natalya, and one person to be determined later. So now here's the part of the show where everyone lets their imagination run wild here to try to figure out who the 8th person is before there might be an announcement on Friday, or they just go into Sunday with there just being a mystery 8th woman here. So who could be the 8th person in this Money in the Bank ladder match? Well, I'm just going to knock the first 2 obvious choices that everyone's saying out of the way right now, with Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch being the top 2 candidates if you just look on the internet anywhere. It seemed like every pay-per-view since the Royal Rumble that everyone's saying, oh, Becky's coming back, Becky's coming back this week, that week, the other week, last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now. And then she never comes back. But now since people will be back for a pay-per-view, maybe she shows up on Friday and goes into the match on Sunday, or she just shows up on Sunday. And a ladder match could be a way to put her back in to where she doesn't have to fully carry the load of the match, where she's in here and there, picks her spots. But if she's in the match, this would be your winner. but I don't think she's going to be in it. The other person, Sasha Banks, who everyone thinks could be in this, she could be the 8th person, and she could win or lose. I don't think it's like, oh, Sasha's in guaranteed win. She has to get the briefcase here. But I also don't think she's going to be in the match. Just they can use her for something else instead of just putting her in the Money in the Bank ladder match. They could also just put whoever loses the SmackDown Women's Championship match on Friday on SmackDown between Bianca Belair and Carmella in the match, which, they could do it. It's whatever. But the person I think they're going to put in this match is Sonya Deville. I think she'll come out on Friday and announce that she's putting herself into this woman's Money in the Bank ladder match to make her return to the ring at Money in the Bank. And I think there'd be a strong possibility if she does get put into this Money in the Bank ladder match that she wins it and takes the briefcase and kind of has like a, you just used the power you had to get your briefcase and then potentially get your women's championship out of it. You didn't earn it like the rest of us kind of did. Of the 7 competitors currently listed in the match, the top 3 choices for me that I can see winning this would be Nikki Cross. Just look at last year, Otis won the men's Money in the Bank contract. That didn't go well for him or really anyone except for The Miz at the end. It wasn't really a help for Otis. Now he went from the guy who was happy about Ham to happy about destroying people, which is just a little offsetting from what he was doing a year ago, so it was a little weird. So Nikki Cross now being a superhero is in training, I guess, or whatever. She could just take the Otis role, win the women's Money in the Bank, and just has it carrying around. The other person is Alexa Bliss. Like, let's be honest, the Fiend Alexa Bliss, it's a little weird. Like, I don't really understand what's going on here. But Alexa Bliss could get taken out by Eva Marie and Doudrop. She's all of a sudden gone. All of a sudden, let's go out, bang. Everyone was down. She's at the top of the ladder, wins. There's her woman's Money in the Bank holder. But I really hope that doesn't happen. And the third person who I think could win it, and is my pick to win the woman's Money in the Bank contract, is Liv Morgan. The reason I think Liv Morgan is the pick to win here with the current people we have in is this Money in the Bank ladder match, to me, feels like the Money in the Bank ladder match from 2019, where we all said, hey, Bayley's going to go in and win this. It's going to be a crowd moment, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And I think Liv Morgan probably would be a shock to most people, and I think the crowd would really be behind it. It'd be a good thing to see in the first pay-per-view back in front of a full thing of people. And I think Liv Morgan holds on to the briefcase for a good chunk of time, and they start building her up into something to where everyone's going, all right, the time is now. Boom, she cashes in, and there's your new Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion, Liv Morgan. We have a new top of the face of the women's division here for hopefully years to come then. But 100% honesty and a disclaimer here, if Becky Lynch shows up, there's your winner. But of the 7 we got, Liv Morgan's going to win the briefcase. So now on to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And our participants in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match are Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Kevin Owens, King Nakamura, and Seth Rollins. Now, I can legitimately tell you a reason why any of these 8 guys could win the Money in the Bank ladder match here. Ricochet, they go with the shock like they did last year with Otis, and then maybe Ricochet gets out of the little cloud, the dust that he was in, where he was stuck, and shoots up the card. John Morrison could win it, and then his little teammate he has with the broken knee, The Miz, is going, hey John, don't cash in it, don't cash in it. Can I get it? I did it last year. Let me get that. Let me get that. And then they sit there and bicker back and forth for that briefcase. Riddle can get it with the help of his returning teammate, potentially Randy Orton, and then maybe he says they're going for the tag titles. I don't really understand if that's legal or would be smart. And maybe Randy gets a gift from Riddle where he goes, here Randy, you deserve this more than me. And that's where they go from there. Now, Drew McIntyre, the guy who, if he wins the briefcase, he realistically can't cash in because he can't face Bobby Lashley. So what they would do, maybe McIntyre gives it to someone to cash in, and then they take on each other once they beat Lashley, or he just jump shows and goes to SmackDown. Now, on the SmackDown side, you got Big E, the guy who everyone for a good chunk of last year thought, hey, he could be the guy to go after Roman and beat Roman. Maybe this is his ticket to get to the head of the table and get after him. Then you got Kevin Owens. I'm always in for a Kevin Owens win and get him into the title mix. We know he can produce great matches and have great promos, and he's just one of the great overall competitors WWE has. Giving him the briefcase would not be a bad option. King Nakamura, he's already won a crown. Why not give him a briefcase? Everything's coming up for the man known as Shinsuke Nakamura, and then he goes in from there to where he's the champion and the king, maybe? And then Seth Rollins, he's done it once and was a hell of a cash-in, one of the greatest of all time for great cash-ins with that Money in the Bank briefcase. Could he do it again, and would it be even nearly as good as it was the first time? Who knows? They can use that as Rollins just saying, I'm waiting until WrestleMania to cash this in again to make another huge splash. So with all that being said, my pick to win the 2021 Men's Money in the Bank ladder match is Big E. I really think Big E's the guy to take the briefcase. He can go after Roman. If he gets switched in a draft later down the road and maybe gets reunited with the New Day, they go after Bobby Lashley, which kind of would make sense now after he decimated Xavier Woods, but then Woods got the win back, but we'll forget about that. And then maybe he runs through Kofi on this, and then all of a sudden here comes Big E with the briefcase to go after Lashley. I just feel like the path that Big E could go down if he's the one to win the briefcase is just one of the better ones that they have in this match. And this could finally cement Big E into that main event player that everyone's been thinking about that he could be, with him getting the briefcase and then maybe, hopefully, becoming a world champion later down the road. So that'll do it with my predictions for the 2021 edition of Money in the Bank. Leave your predictions in the comments section below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you like what I'm doing on this channel and want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.